What does the world run on? You may think oxygen or oil or money, but the question is deeper than that. The world runs on norms and traditions. If you hit someone, chances are they will hit you back. If you run a red light, you will be fined. If you invade a country, you will be condemned. These are the norms that we like to believe in. But new leaders are tearing up those norms and expectations. The new currency is disruption. Just look at the World Economic Forum in Davos. It's the poster child of cooperation. World leaders often talk about globalization, or increasing free trade, or combating climate change. This time, all the big names want to shake things up, starting with Donald Trump, of course. He spoke virtually at the forum yesterday. His message was basically a threat to multinational companies: make in America or face tariffs.
Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt.
This seems to be a solution for everything. Pretty soon, Trump will be taxing the sun for selling light. But it's not just him. Argentina's president went a step ahead. His name is Javier Milei. Milei did not just target mainstream economic thought, he also targeted new cultural ideas, calling wokeism a cancer.
The common denominator for the countries and institutions that are failing is the mental virus of woke ideology. It is the great pandemic of our time that needs to be cured. It is the cancer that must be cut out. Wokeism also manifests itself through the sinister radical ecologism under the climate change flag.
Both Trump and Milei are disruptors. Their policy is to dismantle the status quo, whether it's firing government employees or rejecting climate action or using tariffs to protect your economy. For decades, this was seen as counterproductive. Tariffs increase prices at home. They also stifle competition in the long run. Yet, it has found a lot of takers, including the new president of the world's largest economy. Now, this raises two questions. One, why are people embracing these disruptors? And two, does this strategy work? The first question has a simple answer: because the established norms failed. We were told that free trade and globalization would solve everything, that alliances would keep people safe, and that wars were a thing of the past. But all of that collapsed in the last few years. Inflation rose to record highs, two full-blown wars broke out, and the status quo completely failed. So naturally, people looked for something new, someone who could shake things up. Enter the likes of Milei and Trump. They came with radically new ideas about politics and finances. So the rise of disruptors is not happening in a vacuum. It's happening because the status quo failed. Which brings us to the second question. How does the strategy work? Most of it is shock and awe. You challenge or change long-standing norms, even if they don't mean much. I'll give you an example. Donald Trump has renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Does it solve inflation? No, it doesn't. Does it create jobs? No, it doesn't. But does it give the impression of bold policy making? Yes, it does. This creates an aura around disruptors. People become wary of their next moves. Just look at Joe Biden and Trump. Biden proposed a Gaza ceasefire deal in May 2024. Israel rejected it. For more than 7 months, they did not take the deal. But last week, they agreed to the very same deal. Do you know why? Because Biden was a status quo president and Trump was not. So Israel was scared of possible repercussions. That's one key part of the art of disruption, the air of mystery. The other key part is distraction. Look at Milei's policy in Argentina. He has cut 30,000 government jobs. He has cancelled subsidies. He has devalued the national currency. As a result, inflation has come down. In December 2023, it was 25%. In December 2024, it was just 2.7%. It's great news, right? Milei keeps talking about these economic victories. He credits his radical ideas for the drop in inflation. But here's the flip side. 5 million Argentinians were pushed into poverty by his measures. Public transport is 300% more expensive. Why? Because no subsidies. And public hospitals are overflowing with patients. Why? Because no one can afford private care. This is usually how disruptors work. I'm not saying all of them distract and divert, but most of them do. And what comes after the disruption? Well, right now we are seeing the formation of a global alliance, a partnership of sorts between disruptors. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Javier Milei, Viktor Orban, all of them are joining hands. They're not just breaking the old status quo, they want to replace it with their own. We've seen that in Elon Musk's X. His stated goal was to promote free speech, but today X is a largely conservative platform. So being a disruptor alone is not enough. You need the right intentions and the right ideas. If not, it will be more of the same.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.